prospects. Oh boy, we are talking to a young lady from Nigeria, Africa. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria, Africa. And her name is Memma Uponi. And she is a second year, going into her second year of the University of Toronto. And she's here to share what she's done as a young person, her own business. I'm going to let her take it away. So with no further ado, welcome, Memma. Welcome, sweetheart.
Thank you so much, Joy. I'm so happy that you reached out to me, and I'm here in my room and I'm talking to Joy Foster, and I'm just so happy to be on the show. And my name is Memma, as Joy said, and I'm a second year student at University of Toronto. I study mechanical engineering with a business minor. I am a change engineer. I inspire change wherever I go. I am an innovator. I love sparking change. I love improving my community. That is what I'm all about. I love leadership. I co-founded a nonprofit in Nigeria and Africa that is dedicated to improving our situation and sparking empowerment in youths and sparking leaders and creating leaders. So I'm so happy to be here, and thank you, Joy, for having me.
You are welcome. You know something, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome, if you don't mind me saying this, Memma, to the next leader. When I spoke with you, the only way that I can explain is that she reminds me of Michelle Obama. She just grabs hold and she just takes it away. Like you just said, thank you, Joy. Boom. That shows your leadership. That shows how you empower your voice and how you want young people to empower. But before we get into it, honey, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions so the young people can know. So you've already said that, but now you're an international student, correct?
Yes.
All right, honey. So you're coming back to Canada.
Yeah.
All right. So what is it that you love when you came to Canada, attending University of Toronto? Can you break that down a little bit for the viewers? Then we can talk about all the great things that you're doing.
Yeah. So first of all, the reason I chose University of Toronto is because I'm such a high achiever. And I saw University of Toronto, everyone had this idea of it being so hard to get into, especially with engineering. And I was like, yeah, no. I'm going to enter University of Toronto. I'm going to study engineering, and I'm going to create so many opportunities for myself and set the standards for who is admitted into University of Toronto. And also the fact that there are not enough Black people, there are not enough Africans in engineering. So I wanted to kind of be the person or be part of the people who would break that and who would inspire others to join us. So upon getting to Toronto in the first place, I was like, wow, I love the city. I love the hustle and bustle. I love being around people sometimes. And sometimes I'm an introvert, so I gain energy when I'm around, when I'm alone. So I do go out and I do socialize, but as an introvert, I do gain energy by sitting alone, reading a book, and enjoying the silence. So that's what I mean by sometimes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So how did you find Toronto when you came? Like, what's the difference with Nigeria, when you say the fast pace, and just if you can just kind of break it down, just a little bit.
Yeah, so Nigeria, Lagos is a city. Yes. It's the main city in Nigeria. And the hustle and bustle level of Lagos is here. Okay. I don't know if you can see my hand. And then Toronto is here.
Really?
So it's yes. We always have traffic. We always have people moving around. We always have people selling stuff on the street. We always have color. We always have noise. You always from your house, you can hear dun, 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 because there's someone having a party. There's music everywhere. So it can be quiet, but not too quiet. You will still hear something. And it's just always such a lively place to be. There's the beach that's so close to us because we're surrounded by water, and just the beauty and the nature of everywhere. There's animals, there's just so much beauty in Lagos, and also the fact that the people are such beautiful people as well. And then when I come to Toronto, It's more calm, but there's still a lot of people. There are a lot of events, just on a calmer level. So it was kind of like a shift. Like I'm still in the city, but it's a different level energy. I don't know if that makes sense. But I love both cities. I love both cities because you never get enough of. There's something special about Toronto. There's something definitely special about Lagos. So I can't really compare the two because they're just so different. And yeah, I just love both of them.
All right. But talking about Lagos now, because I live in Canada, so I'm here and I love it. I really, really love it. It's the land of opportunity and the great things that it's done for immigrants, for people as myself, as well as their born Canadians. But now in Lagos, what is the temperature like? Because I've never been to Nigeria. So you can see I'm wearing my print here, okay? So I've never been there. So tell us, what is the temperature like?
So it's always hot, which I'm so thankful for.
Yes.
So that's 31 degrees. But on the temperature thing, you know how it says it's 31, but it feels like something else. So it's usually on that 31, 29, 28, but it always feels like 37, 39, 40 sometimes. So it gets really hot in December and towards the end of the year, and it gets really cool in July. That's when it's always raining. So it varies, but not too much. It still stays around that 31, 28. So we always have a good day.
Okay. Now, when you say hot, because over here in Ontario, it's humid. We get the humidity, the stickiness, the smog. We don't get the dry heat, maybe once in a while. But what is it like there in Lagos? Is it humid or is it dry?
It's humid. It only gets dry in December when we have like wind from the desert coming down. So it's always humid. It's always like hot. It's not dry. You get sweat and you get oily.
Right. Okay. All right. So now you're coming back to the University of Toronto. Are you waiting for your flight right now? Are you waiting for everything to settle in?
Yeah, so I have booked my flight, so I know when I'm coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, so I expect to be back sometime next week, which I'm so excited for because I do miss Toronto. I do miss my friends because all my friends are there, and I do miss seeing my campus because my campus is so beautiful, and I just want to be around other people who are studying engineering and other U of T students and be in Toronto. So I'm excited to go back, and I'm also gonna miss my home.
Yes, honey. What we shared is that you miss your friends, and let's be honest, you're 18 years old and you miss that independence, right?
Yeah.
You miss doing your own stuff. So why is it, now we've got a couple of minutes there, but I want to touch upon every single thing before we get into your foundation. Why is it that you chose STEM, politics, and minor business? Can you break that down for me?
That's a beautiful question. Thank you so much for asking, because I love talking about my interests and I love talking about my passions because it empowers other people to do the same.
You got it.
Yeah, so I chose STEM because from the beginning, I've always seen STEM as something that creates stuff and it creates progress and moves things forward. And I just see the future is always STEM related. There's something STEM related about every aspect of life. If we just look at how we live, we can't live without the television. We can't live without Netflix. Well, we can, but like refrigerators and different technology around the house. And it just fascinates me how much all these things have been improving and all these things have been moving forward, and we've gone away from the firewood and the open flames, and we've gone from firewood and open flames to cookers and dishwashers. So I see technology as it moving us forward, and I definitely want to be part of that change, and I definitely want to be part of that progress because that's what I'm about. And for STEM is such a big thing for Africa, because I feel like it would help us move forward and it'll help us create new things and help us use the resources that we already have. We're such a God-given nation. We're blessed with so many things, but we need to be able to tap into all these resources and tap into them in a sustainable and safe way, and which we haven't really gotten that yet. So I feel like I want to be part of STEM. I want to be part of change, and I want to use STEM to create that change. And I'm also interested in politics because I'm interested in society. I love my society. I want to create change, and I want to be able to lead people because I'm a leader. So I feel like politics is so interesting, and politics defines the society, and politics define what goes around. So without STEM and without politics, you can't really have a great society. And then my passion for leadership. I'm a high achiever. I am strategic. I'm futuristic. So I feel like people like me and people like who love leadership and who love creating change need to be able to use that power and use their strengths to spark change and empower other people. Because if we don't grow collectively as a community, if we don't inspire others to be the best of themselves, then we won't have a great society. So I'm just passionate about things that move things forward, things that create change, things that would leave tomorrow better than today. So yeah, that's just what all I'm. That's all what I'm about. So yeah.
Oh my God. You go, girl. Like, hello, come on, do it with me. Do it with me. You go, girl. You got it. Oh my God. You are born. Oh my God, you're a born leader. Business. Touch upon business in just a half a minute. Why business? Why minor business? Why?
Business, because I believe that with business, you need leadership, and business, I feel like everything is just intertwined. You can't really have one thing without the other. And I feel like I'm also a natural like leader. And so with that leadership, I can be able to do business and grow that business. I want Africa to have the next Microsoft. No, not to have the next Microsoft, to create something. And it being as big as Microsoft, it being as big as Google and bigger, because we have so much talent here and we have so many resources. And with business, with politics, with STEM, we can combine everything and make something that's just out of this world. So, yeah.
Wow. You know something? I could listen to you forever. And on that note, we're going to lead in. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back and talk to Memma about her foundation, Forever Gratis Foundation. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Blood in the urine is the most common symptom of bladder cancer. Don't ignore this warning sign, not even once.
Are you all ready to go, sweets?
All dressed up, ready to go.
What channel is it on again?
It's on Rogers TV. And don't forget your wallet.
Right. Tune in September the 25th to Matthews House Hospice Butterfly Ball Home Edition.
Hosted by award-winning radio host and author Aaron Davis.
Cheers! Live on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Future Prospects with Memma Uponi from Lagos, Nigeria, Africa. Oh my God, that was amazing, my love. So many things to ask you, so many things. So we left off about you breaking down your degree and what you want to, which you will achieve and do, and the importance of it and why you're so passionate about your doing. But I want to just reverse it for a little bit and just go on a little bit more, educating our viewers that are here in Canada but at the same time, trying to picture, okay, Lagos, my understanding with the area there is pretty large. It's around 20 million people around there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty large. So when you look at it now in a sense of, how would I say, the living aspects of it, if I'm making any sense at all, when you can look at Toronto, what is it like there in Lagos? Like, that is huge. Like, I think our population in Toronto, let's say, is not that big, but yours is massive. So you got people selling, you've got different things, you've got things going on. If you can just draw a little picture of it and they can say, oh my gosh, which you did, but just a little bit more if you could.
Okay, so I think what I understand from your question is I should describe exactly how life in Lagos is, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so yes, you're right. We have 20 million people, probably more, maybe a little bit less, but probably more.
Okay.
And yeah, just living in Lagos, that's what I was saying about the hustle and the bustle, that it's Toronto's level is here and Lagos's level is here because we have more people, right?
Right.
But then sometimes we cannot cater for all these people because Lagos is actually filled with people who migrate from other states who do not have infrastructure.
Okay.
So Lagos is seen as the land of jobs, but sometimes people can't get jobs. So it's just filled with a lot of people who have hopes and dreams for themselves. Okay. So that is what Lagos is. That's the whole combination of Lagos. So we have rural areas in Lagos. We have people who are doing a little bit well, but not too well. And then we have people who are upper class, and then we have the absolutely rich. And so it's divided like any other society, but most people in Lagos cannot feed. They feed on less than $1 a day. So it's still there's still a lot of poverty, but everyone is just like here in Lagos trying to make something better for themselves. So every day you see people selling food on the streets by the side of the road. You see we have a lot of traffic because everyone is trying to get to work. Everyone is trying to go somewhere. And I think that also creates the beauty because we also have a lot of bus drivers. We have a lot of noise. We always have someone pulling you to the side and saying, hey, I'm selling this clothes. I'm selling this. Everyone's trying to make something better. So that's the interesting part about Lagos. And yeah, we do have a lot of like trees and things like that, but most of it is taken down. We have houses. It's very much a city, but not in a city that is very much different from Toronto. Definitely, it's very much different. So everyone in Lagos is always just trying to get by, and that's what creates the beauty because everyone is trying to succeed and everyone's trying to make a way for themselves. But then we also see the poverty side of things because a number of people come from the north. So we have the northern side of Nigeria. So they have to migrate. Some of them are internally displaced. So they have to come to Lagos for safety, or they have to go to Abuja, which is another city. So Lagos is definitely a place very vibrant and very, very, very diverse place. So I can't really define Lagos as one thing because there's so many people, so many things, and so many diverse people. And we have so many cultures as well. Nigeria has almost 100 different languages, 100 different cultures, and Lagos has at least Lagos is divided, not even equally, but Lagos is divided like with so many cultures and so many languages. So we can't really like define what Lagos is. We just know Lagos is a land of the people who are trying to make something good of themselves.
Wow. Well, you just did it very, very well. You really did. And it's a place that once this pandemic is dealt with, honestly, I would love to even just come and see because I love your food. My mother and my parents used to have a very, very good friend by the name of Tony. And Tony would always cook. Everything was red. The rice was red with the tomatoes. Yeah. And in England, there was a thing that we call pilchard's herring. So he'd always season up the herring with the tomatoes and the pepper. But everything on my plate was always red. I remember when I was a child, but it was so delicious. So delicious, your food. So I'm always open to different cultures and stuff. So that was very, very well explained, honey. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Now, going into your life, going into what is dear to your heart. And I've already introduced it. So what is the name of your foundation, pretty girl?
So the name of my foundation is it's a youth-led and student-led nonprofit called Forever Gratis Foundation, which was founded in July 2020 during this pandemic.
All right. Who came up with the name?
My mom, actually. She's also a co-founder.
Okay, all right. I noticed that when I was reading up on you. All right, so tell the viewers why you and your mother and whomever is involved with it, the organization, why did you put this together? What is the reason? Because we had a great conversation in the pre-interview. So this is your platform. Talk about your mission, your goals, and what you want to do with youth through Forever Gratis Foundation.
Yep, okay. Thank you so much for the question.
You're welcome.
Forever Gratis we've always been thinking about, we want a foundation, we want to help people. But my mom is into education. I'm into leadership empowerment, and my sister is into social work, like psychology and mental health and things like that. Right. So we were looking for a way that how could we combine all of our ideas together? And that is how Forever Gratis Foundation came to be. It was founded on the realization that youths need to be empowered to spark change in their community. A lot of Africans have given up hope. A lot of Nigerians have given up hope that things can actually be better in our country, things can actually be better in our nation. And we just realized that we need to be the ones to empower these people. We need someone that can inspire us. And the thing is, we don't even have enough role models who are African who are in these spaces. We don't have enough politicians who are young. We don't have enough congresswomen. We don't have enough leaders who are in these positions because they actually work for it or because they actually care about the community. So we want to be able to spark this change. We want to be able to empower other young people like myself, my age and younger, to go out into the community and actually make the change that they've been complaining about. Because we've been always complaining. We say, oh, this is bad. This is so, people complain, but right. no one actually thinks, okay, I'm going to do something about it. So that's what our foundation is about. We want to inspire people to do something about the change that they've been complaining about. So right. The structure of our foundation is we're completely student-led. Most of the executives on my team are between the ages of 15 and to 21. So we're a very young crew, and we want to be able to show that despite your age, despite how young you are, you can still do something and it can still work for you. So we want to create avenues for young people across Africa to serve, to lead their own social impact projects. Because I noticed that when people are working to what they feel, what they're passionate about, then they tend to do more. So if we help them say, okay, we want you to lead this project for us, we want you to help us push this project forward. We want you to be an activist with our organization. We want you to advocate with our organization. We want you to plan projects that can help underprivileged people. So that is what our foundation is about. And in that way, we can touch on so many different lives, and we can make so much impact in different ways. So we have education, the thing that my mom is passionate about. We can do that because we've opened up the floor for people to lead their own projects. So it can be under education, but whatever it is, we just want you to spark change and make an impact in the society without waiting for anyone else, because it's not by magic. We can't just expect change with just sitting us in our couch, with us just sitting on our couches and trying to, just watching for things to change. It can't happen without us getting up and doing stuff. So that's basically the entire what my foundation is about: inspiring change and making an impact while we do so. So right. So that's just the brief overview of what
it's about, right? Yeah. But it goes deeper, hon. It goes deeper because you're an international student, and listening to you there, because you talk with heart. So it's all coming out. You talk because you want to see it. Like you want to just take and shake some people and say, why aren't you supporting? Why aren't you giving voice? But within Nigeria now, what is the reason why you came to Canada to study your education to get your degree? Is it because, I'm just being the devil's advocate here, that let me go around it this way. What is the system like there, your education? How is the education system there for up-and-coming youth, for youth in general? What's it like?
Yeah, so thank you for the question. So the system of education here, I can say that we follow the British way of doing things because we were colonized by Britain. So we follow the British curriculum, but in a way it's inefficient and it's insufficient because we are different people and we have different ways of learning. So we have tried to adopt our own way, but it's very insufficient because we do not have enough funding to go into education in the first place. We don't have people bringing fresh ideas into the education system. We are just trying to, take what Britain has given us and try and use it, but it may not work for us. It's not working for us. So the education system here is very based on cramming. So you just have to memorize what's on your textbook and then just pour it out in the exam. That's not learning. That's the system that we have right now, which is very insufficient for me because I like practicals. I like practicalizing things. But that's to say that some people just have to live with the education here because they do not have enough funds to even just have the opportunity to go abroad like I do. So the education system in Canada is just better in a way that we're able to practicalize things. When we learn the theory, we can do the practical, which is not really how things are here. We do try our best, I believe. I'm not sure about the institutions here, to be honest, because I haven't been in the universities there. But I know, so I know the secondary schools, it's all about memorizing and then pouring it on the test paper, and then that's it. We don't have enough practicals. We don't have enough application. So that's the real what we lack in our education system. The fact that it's all about cramming and it's all about putting stuff in your brain and not being able to apply it. And I think it also shows in how we run the society, because if you're not able to apply what you learn, apply what's in your textbook, then you won't be able to actually have a successful business or run a successful society. So that's the difference between Canada and Nigeria, is that over there in Canada, we're able to practicalize things. We're able to do internships. We're able to realize that we need to be putting one step forward. We need to be moving forward all the time, which is something that motivation is what we lack here in Nigeria.
And with your foundation, you're going to be embracing that. And on that note, my love, we'll be right back, guys. Phenomenal job with Memma Uponi. We'll be right back.
What kind of show do you want to see on Rogers TV? What interests you? Log on to rogerstv.com, fill out a show proposal, and tell us about your segment idea. We want to know what you want to see. Rogers TV, only on Rogers.
Coldwater was the perfect town to host a steampunk festival because it already is a steampunk village. We have the historic grist mill, stone library, we have the authentic historic main street, and we actually are the only festival that takes an entire village and steampunks it for a day. Steampunk is Victorian industrial or retro futurism, all based in a spirit of fun and play. There seems to be an abundance of local artists and very, very creative people in an idyllic, authentic, historic village.
After involving Nuha in this program, she feels very confident. Here you have a lot of opportunity.
I learned a lot of stuff, like being kind and I'm more open-minded.
Welcome back to Future Prospects with Memma Uponi from Lagos, Nigeria, Africa. All right, honey, great stuff. Great pearls of wisdom, great thoughts, great stuff that youth can apply. And when I hear from you, it's every time you talk, it's leading. You're leading, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, you're leading all the time. Every single time you're talking, you're like giving a swift kick. About the system now, the one thing you emphasized on several times when you were talking with memorization, cramming it in, but there was something that I was speaking with our producer, and I'm going to say so because we're digressing, on critical thinking, right? Just critical thinking and applying. Like when you look at the education system, how is it that you would like to see within your country? Because you're here in Canada, you come back getting your degree. What is it you would like to see instilled in the education system in Africa? What would you like to see because not everybody can come to Canada, right? Yeah. They can't. But now what is it that you would like to see better for the students learning?
Right. Thank you so much for this question, because I've actually been thinking a lot about how we could improve our education system and what exactly it means to be educated and to be learning. And so what I think is that we need avenues for students to speak their minds, to actually analyze things and to think things through and then have that class discussion. We don't have enough class discussions about cases, about politics, about all of these things. We need the students to be contributing. We need the students to be speaking and contributing to the conversation instead of just receiving from someone else, because that is what communication is. It's receiving and it's hearing as well. So as we're hearing and the teacher is teaching us, we need to be able to give back and be able to have that class discussion about what is wrong, what is right, what is STEM, what is not, And that type of conversation needs to be had in class, because that's what sparks learning. When people have something to say, they can say it, and then someone digresses and says, "Hey, I think that's wrong," or "You were right," and they have this back and forth conversation, and then that's what sparks learning, because we're hearing it, we're discussing it, we're applying it, and we'll be able to learn from each other, and it just creates a better learning experience for everyone. And that's not what we have much here. We just have someone talking, standing in front of the class and giving us the notes. We spend time writing the notes because we're not allowed to have laptops in our school, which is one thing that I think needs to be added, because we're going into technological space. Even though some students may not be able to afford it, we need to have that level of diversity there. Some students can take notes with their hands, some students can take notes with laptops, but we need to be moving forward with that aspect as well. And I think we should just be able to give students the freedom to learn in the way that suits them, because not every student learns the same way as the next. And that's what comes from, that's what stems the hatred for school, because people are not allowed to have that free conversation and learn in the way that suits them the best. My sister studies social work, and she talks about this a lot, about how maybe they're teaching one child that is considered dumb. I don't want to say dumb, but that's considered not being able to, that's not being able to grasp the concept well. And she's like, why don't they just teach the child a different way instead of trying to push that certain structure onto that child? Because everyone is different and everyone learns differently. I know for me, I love pictures, and as I've said before, I love practicalizing things and speaking on things. So that would help me remember what the person said. because I'm contributing to the conversation. So I feel like we need more of that. We need more of class discussions. We need more of practicals. We need more of seeing and talking, because communication is not just one-sided. It's not just someone standing in front of the board and spitting out information to you. You're not able to grasp everything at once because it's just a bunch of information just coming towards your face and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. But if it's broken down in a way that everyone gets to have a hand in the conversation, and that way it sparks learning and people are involved in class, and people would look forward to going to school because, oh yes, yeah, Mom, I went to class today. We talked about colonialism and I got to speak on this. Remember how you told, that's how it builds community and that's how it fosters learning. So I think we need more of that in all classrooms, actually, not just in Nigeria.
Right. Wow. Folks, I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening and taking notes, because I sure am. I'm going to brand something here for a little minute, just for a second, all right? It's like future prospects. My guests come on all the time and they say the reason why they love this show is because we're having a conversation, right?
Yes, exactly.
Same thing. So the same application, the same format, if it be at home, sitting down with your children and talking after they've digressed from school or work, the same thing. The power of communication is huge. So great job we're doing here, honey. Just had to say it. Keep watching Future Prospects. Great guests, great applications. All right. So what I'd like to ask here now, there was a picture that we shown at the end of segment 2, and you were handing, I think it was a box. Okay, the reason why you shared that picture, can you just explain to the viewers what you were doing within that picture?
Yeah, so Forever Gratis, my foundation, we had our first project. So we had our first service project, which was aimed to provide lunch to underprivileged people within our community in Lagos. And so that acted as a COVID-19 response, because we have been low on food resources and there has been a lot of food insecurity. So we wanted to provide support to some people who we had always been seeing on the streets, begging for money, begging for food. So we wanted to be that support that day. So we distributed 200 plates of food to 200 people, and our goal was actually 200, but we reached that goal in just one day, which was amazing. So that was. Thank you. So that was me handing out food to one of the kids that came to us that she was hungry and she wanted some food. So that was me giving her a pack of food. So we went on our service trip twice in the month. So it was a month-long project. So we gave 200 people food the first time, and the second time we gave 270 people food. Woo! So we had shot past our goal by almost double, thanks to the provisions of my parents and my friends' parents and other people who supported us. So we were able to do more than we had even imagined in the first place. So that was just me giving food to one of the beneficiaries.
Okay, what was the menu? Because I love food.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So the concept of what we gave them was we wanted a balanced diet, but we also wanted to keep it in a way that would fill their stomachs the longest. So we had to pack up on a lot of carbs. So we gave the very famous Nigerian dish, jollof rice, but we also infused it with a lot of vegetables, which is very uncommon, because when you serve jollof rice, you don't be giving vegetables because people will look at you like, what is she doing? But we wanted to give that balanced diet because we know that malnutrition is a very serious thing in Africa in general. So we gave carbs, which was the jollof rice, and then we also gave vegetables, which had carrots, green peas, spring onions, and all the other vegetables that was there. And then we also gave protein, just a little side protein of beef. And so that kind of formed a balanced diet. And it was mostly rice, but that's because we wanted to fill their bellies the most.
All right. That sounds delicious. It sounds delicious, hon. Your foundation, all right? We've covered education, we've covered Lagos, we've covered everything. But now back to the reason why you're here, a portion of it, and it's very dear to your heart, is your foundation. When you formed this foundation, you spoke with me with such passion within your pre-interview. Why is it important for students to step up? Why is it important for them to believe in themselves and to take charge, which is lacking, talking in your country now, and correct me if I'm wrong, with youth voice, with the government supporting your voice? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Okay.
So it's very important for youths to take up space and to act on their ideas and act on their passions, because you just have to realize that no one else is going to do it for you, especially with our kind of society that is struggling. We're a struggling society. We thrive in some areas, but we're not thriving in other areas that are important as well. So we need to be able to step up and take a stand and say, this is what I want from my society. Because if we're operating in a democracy, which is a government for the people, by the people, and of the people, then we shouldn't be afraid to step up and say, hey, I don't like this. I want you to change this. Go up to your representative, go up to your prime minister and say, hey, I'm part of this society. This is my community. I care about my community because it is my home. So I want to be able to change, and I don't accept what you're doing for us, and I want us to do something better. Because when you realize that this is it's like saying, okay, so you have a house, right? You have your own house. You have your own room. It's your space.
Right.
You take care of your space, right? So you have a house in a community, you have a room in a community, in a broader community, you're an African. So you should care about your house as much as you care about Africa, because Africa is your community. Africa is your home. So you should be caring about, you should fight other people when they say, you can't have this, because it is your home. It is your home. So you need to be able to step up and take a stand. And the government needs to be able to support us, because we cannot do stuff on our own. We need funding, we need money, we need resources, we need access to people who can give us funds and give us the resources that we need. So without the support, we won't be able to do half as much as we're able to do. So we need to have a supportive government. We need to have supportive parents. We need to have a supportive society in general, a society that wants to see progress and a society that wants to see change. So if the government doesn't give us an avenue to enact this change, then we're kind of a little bit shifted back. We're not stuck, but we're shifted back a little bit in our progress, because we need to now be fighting against the government, but the government is meant to be of us, for us, by us. So it's kind of hard here. It's a bit hard because people are feeling distracted. Yeah, they're feeling like they can't grasp on their opportunities. They can't succeed in this society because the government doesn't really help. So we need the government to be able to say that these youths have ideas. These youths need to be able to be pushed to prosper, because without them having that prosperous future, the country would not be able to be prosperous as well. So we need a government that supports the youth, because I don't see how else we can progress as a society if we don't have that.
You got it, hon. We got to go to break, honey. Just keep that thought in your head, because we're going to keep rolling on that thought. Stay tuned, guys, with Memma Uponi. We'll be right back.
Through United Way, I did a self-esteem course, training for peer support, and now I volunteer. It's a lesson that comes from the nature of doing work with the United Way that gives me a new lease on my life.
It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Could you use some extra cash? Tune in to MACLAREN Arts Center TV Bingo on Rogers TV for your chance to win. We have $2,500 in prizes up for grabs every Tuesday night. 5 ways to play, 20 chances each night, but only one way to win. Tune in to MACLAREN Arts Center TV Bingo, Tuesdays at 8 p.m. only on Rogers TV.
When you don't have the people there to support you that you know you should, your world kind of like spirals. But United Way has been the biggest change coming into high school. Having the ability to help kids succeed is so important.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with Memma Uponi from Lagos, Nigeria, Africa. All right, my love, we digressed. We talked about great things. But first, Forever Gratis Foundation is more than just voice. It's about youth leadership. So bring to the table, and also government relations, government issues too. So bring to the table what your concerns are. Because your foundation is bigger. There's a lot more to it and what you want to bring to the forefront.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I feel like youths are not just empowered enough we're not giving the avenue to express ourselves enough in many African nations. And I feel that because we're so many and we're so full of life and we're so full of ideas, and us not being able to express those ideas is very heartbreaking, and I feel like it slows down the progress of our nation so much. So the idea of my foundation is giving youths a voice, a platform for them to fight the inefficiencies, fight the structures that are not for us, that are not allowing our nation to succeed. Because we do see that the older ones who have tried their best, but it's not working for our society. They're not thinking in a progressive way. They're thinking, oh, I want to just copy from someone else, or they're not thinking in an innovative way. We need fresh new ideas for Africa to thrive. We need to embrace Africa. Africa is unique, and we need to embrace everyone's individuality and the fact that everyone is so diverse here, and we cannot run the same way that it runs in Western world, because we're different. And so when we realize that youths we have the power to do what we need to do, we just need to be able to, given that space, given that avenue, to act on what we're doing. And to act on our ideas and act on our passions. So that is the whole idea for my foundation, giving youth a voice, giving youth a platform for them to lead, for them to discuss, for them to have these projects that they can say, yes, I did this, and it helped in progressing our society. So we just need to be able to tap into the talents and tap into the creativity of every single person that strives for a better Africa, that strives for a better future for the world. We have a lot of activists, we have a lot of advocates, we have a lot of people passionate about things, but they just don't get up and do these things because they don't know how, they don't have the platform, they don't have the encouragement from their parents or from their teachers to enact on all these inspiration. So I really want to help others see their strengths and see the power of doing things that they're passionate about and sparking change in the community. Because youth, as I said in one of our posts, is that we're 226 million youths in Africa. If every one of us said, yes, I'm not going to allow this stand. Yes, I'm not going to allow there to be inequality. I'm not going to allow for there to be inefficiencies. I'm not going to allow the structures to break us down instead of building us up. So once we all realize that we all have different strengths and we all have to play our part in progressing the society, then Africa would be out of this world. Africa would just move beyond different heights. And that's just what I'm passionate about, that for people to see how strong and how much they're actually needed for society to thrive.
Do you find, do you believe, this is a devil's advocate here, do you feel that sometimes leaders are afraid of youth voice and your change? Why? Well, why? Because if you think of it, we've got to help you get ahead because you're going to replace us, right? Just looking at it in a literal way. So now, do you feel that they're afraid to empower you? So they'll hold you back. Oh, that won't work. Oh, no, just is it. Do you feel?
Yes, because due to how Africa is and how, let me just talk about Nigeria mostly because that's where I live and that's the experience I've had. There's a lot of things about respect and everyone just wants to be ahead of others. And that's a real big issue because as a leader, you should want to bring your community with you. You should want to bring your followers with you, right? But that's not the case for most leaders in Nigeria. The thing is, when they reach to a level of power, when they reach to the office that they want to attain, and then they're blessed with so much money and blessed with so much opportunities, they don't really want to leave that space and they don't want to allow other people to leave that space. So it comes from a feeling of fear, as you said, but also a feeling of selfishness, because once they've reached that power, that level of, oh, I'm in charge of the society, people are following me, they kind of let the power wash over them instead of using that power to serve the community. Leaders are meant to be servants. They're supposed to serve the people who elected them, but that's not the case in Nigeria. And that's entirely one of the problems that we're facing, is that the leaders are too selfish and too afraid to allow the youth to do what they know is needed for the country. They really just are afraid of that progress, and they don't really want the society to change because it favors them and their family. And that is something that we desperately need to break in Nigeria, and I'm sure in Africa as well.
So where's the future then if you don't empower the up and coming leaders, which is the youth?
We're just there's no future actually, because it's just the same cycle running over and over again, except with each cycle it gets worse and worse because people are dying, people are discouraged, people are losing faith, people are moving to different countries who are progressing. So if the cycle of destruction and the cycle of selfishness and the cycle of corruption just continues and rolls over into the next generation, I just fear that Nigeria would not even exist, because all the potential people who have the opportunity to move abroad can and will, and the other people who don't have enough funds would just be washed away. And I truly do not want that to be the fate of Nigeria, and definitely not of my other African brothers and sisters countries. So yeah.
You love your country. Why do you love your country so much, honey? Why do you love Nigeria so much?
I love Nigeria because it's where I was born, and I see so much potential in everywhere. I see potential in every, like, I go out on the I go out and I drive around and I see this could be so much more. This person could be so much more. On the service project, I had the opportunity to talk with some of the kids that I was giving out food to, and just because I couldn't understand a little bit of what they were saying, and they couldn't understand English as well, we had a little bit, we had issues communicating, but I was able to get that. He wanted to go to school. He wanted to do something about his life. He wanted to help his mom and he wanted to help his dad. And that's the reason he was on the street in the first place, because he was begging to get money for his family. And so I see the potential in everyone. I see the potential in this country, in this land, because we are meant to thrive and we will thrive. We just need to be able to we just need people to put that effort in and to say, I want to be the one to spark this change, and I want to be the one to progress my country. And if we have, as I said, 226 million people saying that, then of course we would have progress. And I know that Nigeria has a lot of potential. We just need to be able to tap into the creativity and the passions of young people and old people as well.
You know something, you're doing it, honey. It's only been since July, but God help the rest of the year and the years moving forward, because you are going to move mountains. Parent support. Children go home every single night. If it be in a poor house, a rich house, a middle-class house, they sit with their parents. How important is it, like your parents have supported yourself and your sister, to be the teachers, the first teachers and mentors in their life. How important is it? Send a message to the youth right here now.
It's important to have a good family base, because your family is the first people, they're the first point of contact that would tell you this is not working and you need to be doing something more. They're the ones who would push you to say, I know this is what you can do. I know you can do this. Go ahead and do this. They would be your backbone to your success. And that is why you need to be able to talk to your family. You need to be able to have that support. And it's important for the parents to support their kids in anything that they want to do, because you don't want to be the one to break down a future leader, to break down a future politician, because that would be so painful. And then that takes away the opportunity of your child. So I just need everyone to be encouraging, to encourage your brother, encourage your sister, encourage your mom, encourage your family, and encourage your friends, because we need to have progressive society, and we need to have we need to be building community instead of breaking each other down, because there's no reason for that. We can all thrive in the community. We can all be the best people that we want to be. So I encourage everyone to act on your strengths, to build on your ideas, because we need you, we need your idea, and there's no one else like you. We're all unique in different ways. So there's no reason for you to be afraid, for you to think that it won't work, because you just need to act on that one idea, and then you would see a lot of things change. You would see a lot of opportunities happen. If I didn't say I'm tired of saying I will, I'm saying I did, then I wouldn't know joy. So I wouldn't be I wouldn't have a foundation called Forever Gratis. So if it's the day you decide to say I have done instead of I will, then that is when you see progress in your life and you see progress in your community. So I encourage you to just act on your strengths and don't be afraid of anyone or anything, because you're strong yourself and you have something in you that no one else has, because we're all different, as I said a million times already. So just don't forget that.
Say it again, because we're coming to the end of segment 4. Say it again, quickly.
You all have different strengths. Embrace your individuality, because you're unique, and you need to act on your strengths, and you need to push out into the world and take up space, because there is something in you. There's something in you that the world hasn't seen. You just need to be the one to tap into it and give the world what they need.
Love you, girl. Do the next. Love you. Love you. Do it. Oh my God. Love you. Thank you so much, Memma. You're a blessing. You're coming back. You're going to come back?
Yeah.
Thank you, Memma. That was awesome. Great words of wisdom. Thank you for being on the show. I look forward to you coming on again. And we'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
There are times in our